My name's Electric Donkey, and today we are back once again on the No Man's Sky type project we've got going. So if you remember, in the last video we started work on some scripts here. So it was the save world, read world, mx to gx, mx my to gy, and the inventory pickup. Did I say save world and read world? We didn't do them last week. In fact, they have literally nothing in. But we did these ones here. These are just tiny little scripts, if you remember, and then the pickup one's the main big script there. But once again, I did say that we would work on that a little bit more in this video. So at the moment, the inventory's there, but it isn't actually being used. You know, when you mine something, it doesn't go into it. Just disappear. Oh, you can't even mine stuff at the moment. So let me just get some stuff set up here. So what we're going to want to do to start with is go into our object player, and we're going to want to have a new event. So it's going to be global. I think it's global left pressed, like that. Let me just get my little example up on this side. Global left button. Oh, in fact, we've got it already there, so let's just delete that one there. Global left button. I completely missed that. Actually, we've done quite a lot of the mining there already. Okay, so let's give that a go. Let's give it a go, see if it works. The actual mining itself, because I don't remember putting that in. Now I'm not sure if that's actually right or not. But we'll just give it a go, shall we? Yeah, it does work. You can see it is actually destroying the block, but you can see it isn't really coming up in your inventory unless you press E, which adds items. It doesn't come up. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to go into our player, our global left button pressed, and inside the bit where it says tile delete, just before that, before we delete the actual tile, we're going to say script inventory pickup item, and that's going to be tile. Now, fingers crossed this will work, but there's a chance it might not, in which case we'll have to make our little database folder thing. So let's give this a look. Well, I mean, it is working. Actually, no, it is not working, because those are meant to be both the same, and they're quite clearly not. So what we're going to do to bypass this is start to make a database script. So we're going to call it script db. Now this is probably something you'll use quite a lot in your game. I use them in most of my games now, just to make things a lot simpler. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign each one an ID. So the first one is going to be an ID of 0. So to do this, we're just going to say I equals 0. Okay, and then we're gonna put, well, actually we need a grid first. So let's go to our objects world gen, because that's the only one, and in this little bit here I'm gonna make a new grid which is blocks. So equals ds grid creates, all the way down there. The width is going to be 7, and the height is going to be however many blocks you want in your database, but for the time being we'll just put that as 10. Okay, so for the most part that's almost there. The only last thing we need to do is just clear it, just to make sure. We're going to clear it to a value of 0. Okay. Once again though, in the game end we're going to say ds grid destroy, and we're going to destroy that one. So blocks, just like that. Okay, so now we've made the grid, what we want to do is go into our database and start adding some things. So the first one is going to be blocks. It's going to be I, and in fact we're probably going to have to use object world gen dot blocks. I, which is 0, which is our ID effectively for this block. and we're going to just put let's just say dirt on the top there, because it's a dirt block. So it's going to be 0 and 0. It's going to equal BK block dirt. Pretty simple, right? I mean, I don't think we have anything else at the moment to put in, but the beauty of this is you can then go, you can just copy this, let's say, and let's say you've added a sprite in for this. You can just change that to sprite like that. But one thing that we do need, we'll just put this in here, is the ID itself. So that's going to equal I. Pretty simple, you know, pretty simple at the moment. And then if you wanted to, you can just keep copying this and adding another block. So let's take another block that we have. We have wood. Okay, so wood. Change this to 1. It's the ID of number 1. BK block wood. And there you go. But now at the bottom bit, we're going to put some little parameters in here as well. So different things we could return. We could return the ID or the background. We're not going to put comma there though, we're just going to do it like that. And we're going to put input as well. So to use this script, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to specify whether you want ID or the background, and then put in your input. So if you wanted the ID, you input your background. If you want the background, you input the ID. Okay, but to do this, we're going to use switch, and we need some set variables up here as well. So let's do type equals arguments 0, imp equals argument 1, like that, and then you want switch type. Oops. And then we want case ID. So if we want the ID, what are we going to do? Well, the first thing we're going to do is put a break, just so we don't forget to do that at the end and cause any issues. And I'll just full screen this as well. So if we want the ID, we want to see if the block matches up. So we're going to use a for loop var I equals 0. Pretty simple. Check out my video on for loops if you don't know what I'm on about here. So I is less than, and we're going to use ds grid height. Is that right? Let's see. ds grid height is that one, the y axis. So the y is the second one, so it's going to be the width that we want instead. Okay, I plus plus. So effectively what this will do is it will loop through every single block in here. Okay. Then we're going to use an if statement. So if imp equals object will gen. So if the input that we've put in equals that, so if it equals either one of these, so it equals that one or that one, then what we're going to do is we're going to say that we're going to return that, but for the ID, so we're going to change that to 1. Okay, pretty simple. And then for the background, all we're going to do is do the exact same, but the other way around. In fact, we've put ds grid width, but we haven't put the ds grid to check the width of. So let's just copy and paste them in quickly. Okie dokie. So now we have that bit pretty much done. The only thing is here we're going to swap that to be a 1 and that to be the 0. Okay. Effectively what this is going to do is, it's just, if we want the ID, it's going to take in a background and return the ID using this thing here. Okay, so now if we go into our player, global left button, and instead of just using that, we're going to use script db, and we're going to want the ID using the background ID. Okay. So let's give that a run. Hopefully it'll work. If it doesn't, we'll have to give it another go in the next video. So so we've had a little error come up here. Just quickly, expect one DS grid width. So for some reason we've put the DS grid width in wrong, so let's just try and quickly fix that, because that it's not something that we should really go wrong. DS grid width object world gen dot blocks. I can't see anything wrong with that particularly. Let's see what the error said exactly. Okie dokie. So DS grid width argument 1 incorrect type, expecting a number. Let's just check we've not done something absolutely ridiculous. I mean, I can't see anything. Let's just sub that out for the time being. We know that there is a maximum of 10, so if we just sub 10 in for the time being and give that a run and see if that works like that. Otherwise we'll have to see what's going wrong, but I'd like to see what's going on there. It's a bit weird, not entirely sure what's going on there. Okay, so we've had a slightly different error here. So variable index out of range, so -1 apparently. This is rather weird. What I think I'm going to have to do on this one is go back, compare it to my little example over on the right, and just see what's going wrong, what's going right. I don't want to open my example up to have a look though, because it is really big and confusing in comparison to, you know, this little one that we've got here. It would be a lot easier if I can just sort this one out rather than have to move everything over on that side. But anyway guys, that'll be it for this video. I'm sorry we didn't really get much done, but I made a bit of progress on the database thing here. I mean, we can always just patch little bits if it's just a little thing going wrong. But anyway, I will fix that for the next episode. But until then, I will talk to you later.